Knight's Armor Principles Volume 2, Iron Sharpens Iron. Keep Challenging Yourself by Kenny Knight III. Read by Rick Gines. Dedication. Dedicated to my wife and to my kids. You are the reason I fight. You are the reason I keep showing up, day after day. Every rep, every risk, every lesson, and every win, it's all for you. Acknowledgements. To everyone who has been in the trenches with me, thank you. To those who stood beside me during the storms, who helped me build when everything was falling apart, who believed in me when belief was hard to find, you are part of this journey. To those still in the struggle, still grinding, still trying to find the next step, you're not alone. And to everyone who's down to keep pushing forward with me, let's go. We're just getting started. Prologue. The Beatdown. I was 7 years old the first time I got my ass kicked by someone other than my big sister. It was outside my dad's motorcycle clubhouse, a gritty place where the air reeked of beer, smoke, testosterone, and bad decisions. The kind of spot where grown men passed out at poker tables and women floated in and out like shadows. It wasn't a place for kids, but I was there anyway. My old man, tough as leather and twice as raw, brought me along like a sidekick. I remember being outside that night, playing with a few other kids. Most of them were older, 10, 11, bigger than me, louder, rougher, but I didn't care. Dad raised me to be hard. I believed I could take on the world. I wanted to take on the world. One of the older kids and I started jawing. Words turned to shoving, and shoving turned into fists. I remember thinking I had this. I had to have this. But that kid beat the brakes off me. I went down, got scraped up, face hot with embarrassment and rage. I walked inside the clubhouse, tears streaking down my cheeks, and told my dad what happened. He didn't comfort me. He didn't coddle me. He walked outside, saw the kid and his old man, one of his biker buddies, and they did what men in that world did. They asked if we were done yet and told us to finish it. No rules, no gloves, just go settle it. So I did. I jumped back on that kid like I had something to prove. But once again, he laid me out. But something changed. I didn't cry. I didn't run. I wanted more. We went at it again, and again, and again. Every time I lost, every time I got beat down, but every time I got back up. And somewhere between the blood, the bruises, and the exhaustion, I started feeling something I didn't expect. Pride. Not because I won. I didn't. Not because it stopped hurting. It didn't. But because I kept swinging. I actually enjoyed the act of trying again and doing a little bit better each time. Eventually, we both dropped from exhaustion. Our dads handed us a beer, because that's the kind of world we grew up in, and told us to go play. That night didn't teach me how to win. It taught me how to fight, how to keep coming, how to take a beating and still get up. And that's been the story of my life ever since. Chapter 1. The Burn. There's a moment in every fight, physical or mental, when everything inside you screams quit. That moment is the burn. It's when your body shakes, your lungs give out, your vision blurs, and your mind whispers, "This is too much." But there's something inside you, something deeper than muscle, louder than fear, that tells you to keep going. That's what I chase. I chase the burn in the gym. I make myself uncomfortable on purpose. Sometimes that means 1,000 push-ups in under an hour. I don't care if my arms go numb. I finish. Other days, it's a drop set of jump squats with dumbbells. Start with the 100-pounders. Go until my legs feel like jelly, then 90s, burn again, then 80s, then 70s, all the way down to the 10s, where I'm gasping, soaked in sweat, and on the verge of passing out. And I love it, because that's where the truth lives, not in the mirror, not in the compliments, not in the easy reps. The truth lives in the burn. I've seen it in training for combat. When your legs are cramping, your gear is cutting into your back, and you still have miles to go. You don't stop. You don't even think about stopping. You suck it up and keep moving forward. I felt it in business when I got sued for everything. The burn in business. When I started Rage Fitness, I had partners, people I trusted, but things fell apart, and when it did, they came for my throat. They sued me for $650,000. I lost my house. I lost my cars. I damn near lost my family. I had to start over from nothing. I moved my gym into an old warehouse, concrete floors, bare walls, the kind of place most people would have seen and walked away from, but not me. Because the fire doesn't scare me anymore. I leaned into it, and thank God I had loyal warriors who stayed with me, clients, friends, brothers, people who saw the vision even when everything around us looked like rubble. We trained, we hustled, and we rebuilt from the ground up. That was the burn. That's what separates those who make it from those who talk about it. Why the burn matters. The burn teaches you what you're made of, not when things go right, but when they go wrong, when you lose, when you're tired, when your plans fall apart, when people betray you, when you're broke, bleeding, and on the edge of quitting, and you keep going anyway. That's when you become someone new, someone harder, wiser, hungrier. That's when you become dangerous, not because you can throw a punch, but because you've taken 100 and you're still standing. Your challenge. So here's what I want from you. Chase the burn. Create it. Don't wait for it. Do the 1,000 push-ups. Take on the drop set that makes your soul ache. Put yourself in situations that scare you, stretch you, and force you to level up. Pain is the admission price for power. If you're not willing to burn, you'll never build anything that lasts. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Chapter 2. The Mirror. It's easy to blame other people, your past, your parents, your circumstances, your environment, the system, the ex, the boss. It's easy to point fingers until the day you look in the mirror and see the real enemy staring back at you. Sometimes you need to get out of your own way. I was a young Marine when that moment came for me. I hadn't planned on becoming my dad, but somehow I did. I loved him, don't get me wrong. He was tough, loyal, and unapologetically himself, but he also partied hard, drank even harder, and carried his demons in a bottle. I swore I wasn't going to be like that. But the truth, I didn't even notice I was walking the same damn path. Becoming the man I swore I wouldn't be. At that point in my life, I was drinking 40-ounce bottles of Old English like it was nothing. We called it 8-ball. Most guys could barely get through one without puking or blacking out. Me, I was drinking 3 or 4 a night like water. It became routine, part of the lifestyle. We were young, wild, bulletproof, or so we thought. One morning I pulled up to base, dragging ass but holding it together. I got out of the car. One of my boys, someone I actually liked and respected, joked and said, "Damn, bro, you're a straight alcoholic." He laughed, but it cut deeper than any insult I'd ever heard. My blood boiled instantly. That trigger flipped. Next thing I knew, I was on top of him, beating the hell out of him. Still not proud of it. He never let me apologize, and I get it. Looking back, I know exactly why I snapped. Deep down, I knew he was right. I was the problem. I didn't want to hear it, because hearing it meant facing it. Facing it meant changing. The truth hurts, but it heals. That was the first time I really saw myself. Not the Marine, not the tough guy, not the son. I saw the habit. I saw the rage. I saw the truth. That day broke me open. I stopped drinking for a while after that, not because someone forced me to, but because I finally understood what it meant to take ownership of who I was becoming. Growth doesn't start with motivation. It starts with a mirror. Owning the good, the bad, and the ugly. Looking in the mirror means accepting everything, the greatness inside you and the garbage you've been hiding behind. And here's the hard truth most people won't tell you. You can't lead anyone until you learn to lead yourself. That means facing your bad habits, owning your attitude, admitting when your ego is out of control, acknowledging when you're wrong, even if it breaks you to say it. You'll never change your life until you stop blaming everything around you. Your challenge: stand in the mirror. Don't flinch. Don't look away. Take 10 minutes today. Stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself, where am I bullshitting myself? Who have I hurt? What habits are destroying me? What am I avoiding? Write the answers. Stare at them. Own them. Responsibility is your weapon. It's the sword that separates the average from the uncommon. It's what separates who you are from who you were meant to be. You are either in control of your life or you're controlled by your lies. Look in the mirror and choose. Chapter 3. No Plan B. When I make a decision, I'm all in, not halfway, not I'll try and see how it goes, all in, or not at all. That mindset started when I joined the Marine Corps. I didn't want just any role. I wanted to be infantry. Not just infantry, but the baddest infantryman out there. The kind of Marine others followed into hell without blinking. I trained constantly, during work hours, after hours, before sunrise, after lights out. I studied, I practiced, I pushed my body and my mind. I didn't wait to be told what to do. I was already doing it. In my mind, there was no plan B. I didn't give myself permission to fail. I gave myself orders to dominate. That same mentality followed me when I became a drill instructor, when I moved up in the ranks, when I deployed, when I retired, and especially when I entered the next war zone, entrepreneurship. From combat boots to concrete floors. When I got out and opened Rage Fitness, I started with nothing but a fire inside and a dream that felt way bigger than my resources. I was renting space in 2 different locations just to get my foot in the door. Some months I made $200, other months maybe $400. It wasn't enough, not even close. I had my military retirement coming in, just barely enough to keep my kids fed and gas in the car, but most of the time I couldn't even afford the gas. So I slept in my vehicle between spots. No hotel, no backup plan, no comfort. Just me, my hustle, and a steering wheel for a pillow. I printed flyers, bought rubber bands, and hit the pavement. My kids and I walked neighborhoods, putting flyers on windshields, stapling them to telephone poles, stuffing them in door cracks, one house at a time, one conversation at a time. We earned every client that walked in our doors. We earned our first brick-and-mortar gym, and to this day, I'm still in the trenches. Every damn day. I wake up at 3:30 a.m. I open my gym myself. I run sessions, train clients, manage the business, run errands, handle the bills, handle the problems. When the last person leaves, I'm the one locking the doors at 10 p.m. There's no clocking out. There's no plan B, because this is the plan. Plan B is for people who want to escape. People love to say, have a backup plan just in case. Let me tell you something. The minute you give yourself a way out, you've already decided not to go all the way in. Plan B is for people who expect to fail. It's the excuse waiting in the shadows. Plan B is comfort, and comfort kills growth. If you want to build something that matters, something that lasts, you've got to cut the cord. No retreat, no excuses, no safety net. Just purpose, pressure, and persistence. Your challenge: cut the cord. Whatever you're chasing, business, body, family, healing, ask yourself, am I really all in? Or have I been flirting with commitment and calling it ambition? Have I created an escape hatch just in case it gets hard? Then I want you to close that hatch, rip up your backup plan, cancel the pity party, cut the cord, and march forward like your life depends on it, because it does. The only way to win is to remove the option to quit. There is no plan B. There is only you and how far you're willing to go. Chapter 4. The Battle Buddy. I've been to war more than once. I've lost friends, some to the chaos of combat, some to senseless mistakes, and some to life after war that proved even harder than the battlefield. Here's what I'll never forget. Every time I deployed, Every time I laced up my boots and stepped into the unknown, I wasn't fighting for a flag. I wasn't even fighting for my country. I was fighting for the man next to me, for the one who had my six, for the one whose sweat dripped into the same dirt, for the one who would carry me out if things went bad and knew I'd do the same for him. War teaches you what loyalty really means. In combat, your battle buddy isn't just your teammate, he's your lifeline. You eat together, you bleed together, you face the same nightmares, you laugh when you shouldn't, you cry when no one's watching. You form a bond that most people will never understand, and when you lose one of them, it stays with you forever. Some of my closest brothers never made it home. Some came back physically, but not mentally. Some couldn't outrun the pain. They turned to drugs, some to alcohol, some to violence. Some just disappeared completely. I remember all of them. I honor them by living with the same loyalty they gave me. Business is just another battlefield. When I transitioned out of the military and built Rage Fitness, I noticed something. The mission changed, but the brotherhood didn't. The loyalty I used to see in my battle buddies, it took a while, but I found that same loyalty in the right clients, the right tribe. Not everyone who walks into the gym is your people. Some come and go, some are flaky, some disappear when you raise prices, change hours, or grow in a direction they don't understand. Then there are the others, the loyal ones, the ones who've been with you since day one, the ones who handed out flyers with you when nobody knew your name, the ones who still train with you even when life gets heavy, the ones who defend your name when you're not in the room, the ones who call you out when they see you're making a mistake or being an asshole. I've learned to not take advice from others that haven't been where I'm trying to go. Those are your new battle buddies. They are your ride or die people when loyalty goes both ways. Loyalty is rare, so protect it. I've seen what happens when loyalty is broken. I've lost brothers to betrayal, to bullets, to the bottle. I've seen promising men waste their lives because no one stayed close enough to call them out, or close enough to hold them up. That's why I don't take it lightly. If you're in my circle, if you've got my back, I've got yours with everything I've got. Whether it's war, business, life, or death, I give the same loyalty to my people that they give to me. Your challenge: find your tribe. Look around your life right now. Who's riding with you? Who's fighting for your success, not just feeding off it? Who's been where you're trying to go? Who corrects you and protects you? That's your battle buddy. That's your tribe. And if you don't have one, you better start building one fast. Because this life is hard, this grind is lonely, and you weren't meant to do it alone. One loyal warrior beside you is worth more than 100 strangers behind you. Find your tribe, protect them, and never go to war alone. Chapter 5. The Forge. In the Marine Corps, we had a phrase that was well understood: the fog of war. It means exactly what it sounds like: not knowing what the hell is coming next. No visibility, no clarity, no guarantees, just fear, pressure, chaos, and the need to move anyway. The fog of war can freeze you. It can lock your body down, paralyze your mind, convince you that doing nothing is safer than pushing forward. In combat, standing still can get you killed. The same is true in life, in business, in purpose. Standing still will absolutely kill your progress. The unknown is inevitable. The same fog exists in the civilian world, in business, in relationships, in chasing goals. You can have a plan, a vision board, a calendar full of color-coded checklists, and still be completely unsure of what's coming next. I've seen it countless times with Rage Fitness. There were times I launched a new boot camp, put my heart into it, designed the workouts, promoted it, printed flyers, showed up with energy ready to go, and no one showed up. Not one person. There were times I did the same thing, and 100 people showed up. Same effort, same passion, totally different outcome. That's the fog. That's the forge. Why most people quit. Most people want certainty. They want to know it'll work before they commit. They want to see the results before they take the risk. The truth is, you'll never see clearly from the sidelines. Clarity only comes from movement. Confidence only comes from reps. Results only come from walking through the fog and trusting yourself. That's why people quit before they ever get started. They don't get scared of failure. They get scared of the unknown. The Rage Kickball Tournament. Every year, I hold the Rage Kickball Tournament. It's for the community. It's for the culture. It's about more than exercise. It's about connection. And every year, it's different. Sometimes we have 12 teams. Sometimes we have 8. Sometimes we have 4. But I always put it on, because you don't build something real by waiting for perfect conditions. You show up, you lead, you serve, you do it again, because the only thing that beats a quitter is a try. You can't win if you don't show up. If you don't try, you've already failed. Let that sink in. Not trying is failure in its purest form. And guess what? You will fail. You will launch something that flops. You will put your heart into something and get nothing in return. But if you keep forging ahead, if you keep trying, keep launching, keep showing up, you'll build something that can't be broken, something that can only be built through the fire. Your challenge: step into the fog. This week, do something that scares you. Start the business, launch the class, write the post, make the call, take the risk. You might fail, you might win, you might land somewhere in between. But if you don't move, you're done before you begin. The fog will always be there, but the ones who push through it, they're the ones who come out forged, hardened, sharpened, and ready for the next fire. You don't need perfect conditions. You need relentless forward motion. Walk through the fog and forge the version of you this world hasn't met yet. Chapter 6. Own the outcome. No excuses. That's it. That's the chapter. You win, own it. You lose, own that too. Over the years, I've competed in more than 8 bodybuilding competitions. Guess how many I've won? None. Top 4, almost every time. But I never took first place, and I have 0 excuses. I know exactly why. It wasn't the judges. It wasn't politics. It wasn't bad lighting or poor genetics. It was me. The truth hurts, but it also heals. I trained like a powerlifter going into bodybuilding shows. I wanted to be the strongest guy in the gym, and trust me, I was. But that's not how you win a bodybuilding competition. You don't win by lifting the heaviest. You win by being the most conditioned, the most shredded, the most dialed in. I knew that, but I didn't adjust. I didn't shift my priorities. I trained for strength when I should have been training for precision. So I didn't win, and that's on me. On the flip side, I've also competed in multiple powerlifting competitions. Guess how many of those I lost? 0. Because that's what I was training for. I ate, trained, and slept with one goal in mind: be strong as hell. I understood the assignment, and I executed it, so I won. You see the pattern? When I failed, it was because I didn't do what was required. When I won, it was because I gave it everything I had. No mystery, no magic, just ownership. The same is true in business. I've had a lot of failures in business too. Programs that flopped, partnerships that crumbled, ideas that went nowhere. A lot of the time, if I'm being real, I didn't put in the full effort. I didn't do the follow-up. I didn't market it hard enough. I got distracted. I got tired. I thought just having a good idea would be enough. When things failed, I could have blamed circumstances. I could have blamed the economy, other people, blamed bad timing. But that's not the game I play. The first place I look when things go wrong is in the mirror. Own it all. You don't get to pick and choose when to take accountability. You don't just own the wins and explain away the losses. If you're going to be a real leader, a real entrepreneur, a real man, you've got to own everything. The wins, the losses, the near misses, the almosts, the stuff you gave up on, the things you did half-assed, and the things you never even started. You don't get better by lying to yourself. You get better by being honest, even when it hurts. Your challenge: do a personal audit. Look at your biggest recent failure. Now ask yourself, did I do everything I could? Did I give it 100%? Did I prepare, plan, and execute like a champion? If the answer is no, then own it and fix it. If the answer is yes, then learn from it and move forward with pride. Whatever you do, don't make excuses. Those are just lies you tell yourself to stay average. You can't conquer what you won't claim. Own the outcome, good or bad, and take back your power. Chapter 7. Pressure is a privilege. Pressure bursts pipes. Pressure creates diamonds. Pressure reveals who you are. Some people run from it. Some collapse under it. Some wait until it hits them before they decide to move. The real ones, they seek it. They create it. They welcome it. Pressure is what turns average into elite. Growing up alone at home. From the time I was 13 until I graduated high school at 17, I lived with my mom. Most of the time, I was on my own. My sister had gone off to live with my dad and eventually joined the Army. And my mom, she worked from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. By the time I got home from school, she was already gone. By the time she came back, I was already out on the streets. She'd leave notes on the counter. Food's in the kitchen. I washed your clothes. I love you. And then she'd be off again, staying at her future husband's place. That was the routine. Monday through Friday, I raised myself. I got up in the morning, got to school, handled my homework, handled my business, and figured out life as best I could, one day at a time. Financially, she took care of me, no question. But emotionally, mentally, and practically, I had to learn self-responsibility early. That pressure became my normal. And that pressure, it grew me fast. Pressure didn't break me, it built me. I left home at a young age and thrived in the Marine Corps because I was already used to operating on my own, already used to solving problems, showing up, and grinding forward when nobody was watching. Even now, as a retired combat veteran, as a business owner, as a father, as a leader, I still live by that same principle. Don't wait for the world to put pressure on you. Put it on yourself. I create challenges on purpose. I set deadlines. I take on responsibilities. I take the weight before someone else hands it to me. Not to prove anything to the world, but to prove something to myself. That I can still carry it. That I'm still built for the weight. That I don't need perfect conditions to rise. I just need a reason. Stop avoiding the pressure. Pressure isn't punishment. Pressure is preparation. It's the weight that gets you stronger. It's the stress that forces you to grow. It's the fire that refines you and the resistance that makes you undeniable. You don't level up by dodging hard things. You level up by chasing them. That's why I don't wait for life to force me into action. I put myself in motion. You want to inspire people? Put yourself under pressure. Want to change your life? Stop waiting for motivation. Create pressure. Want to lead? Then carry something heavy without complaining. Your challenge: apply the pressure. Ask yourself, what have I been avoiding because it's hard? Where have I been waiting for life to push me? Where can I step up, apply pressure, and lead? Then do the damn thing. Sign up, commit, speak up, show up. Put yourself under pressure and watch what comes out of you. Pressure is a privilege. It means someone believes in you. And if no one else does, then believe in yourself enough to carry the weight anyway. Chapter 8. The Legacy Lift. I've never done any of this for ego. not the Marine Corps, not Rage Fitness, not Salute Supplements, not the books, not the speaking events, not the early mornings, not the late nights. I've done it all for one reason: legacy. I just want my kids to be proud. That's the truth. I never wanted to be famous, never cared about being a celebrity, but I did want something more than memories left behind when my time is up. I want to build something my kids and grandkids can see, touch, learn from, build on. I want them to be able to say, "My dad did something real. My grandfather left something behind, and now it's my turn." Everything I've done has been about that, about giving them something I never had. I've seen what happens when people pass without leaving a legacy. What my parents gave me and what they couldn't. I watched my mom and dad pass. I loved them deeply. They shaped me. They gave me wisdom, strength, and grit. They gave me love, and I'll carry those memories forever. But they didn't leave behind anything tangible. No businesses, no books, no financial safety net, just memories and a deep love that I'll never forget. I knew I wanted to give my kids more than that. I wanted to give them a head start I never got, to give them proof that building something from nothing is possible, to show them what hard work, commitment, and discipline can create. That's why I built Rage Fitness, why I created Salute Supplements, why I wrote these books, why I stepped up to the mic and started speaking, not for ego, but for impact. Legacy over ego. There are two types of people, those chasing attention and those building something that outlives them. You have to ask yourself, when you're gone, will your name fade fast, or will what you've built echo through the generations? For me, legacy means building structures, businesses, systems, messages, and movements that can survive without me, but were shaped by me. Legacy is intentional construction, not accidental inheritance. It's the mark you leave long after the grind is over. Your challenge: start your legacy today. Ask yourself, what will my kids say about me when I'm gone? What can I leave behind that helps them move forward? What story am I writing with my life? If the answers aren't what you want them to be, change the story now. Legacy doesn't start at death. It starts the moment you decide your life is bigger than you. The greatest weight I'll ever lift is my legacy, and I carry it every day with purpose, pride, and the fire to keep building. Epilogue. Brick by brick. You don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent. That's it. People are out there chasing hacks, shortcuts, 10x schemes, some magic switch to flip. But the truth is, real change isn't loud. It's not flashy. It's not overnight. It's little progress every damn day. One rep, one task, one challenge at a time. Over time, it stacks up. It builds and becomes something powerful. That's how you build armor that doesn't crack. Every day is a choice. Every single day, you've got two options: stay comfortable or grow. Growth never comes easy. It demands discomfort. It demands sacrifice. It demands honesty with yourself. When you wake up and choose that path, even in the smallest way, you're building something. You're laying bricks. You're creating momentum that most people will never have the patience for. Use what tried to break you. Every setback you've ever had, use it. The heartbreak, the failures, the betrayal, the trauma, the guilt, the regret. Use it all. Let it sharpen you. Let it fuel your grind. Let it become the foundation, not the excuse. You don't bury pain. You build on top of it. Because if you're still breathing, you're not finished. You've still got time. You've still got something to prove, not to the world, but to yourself. Keep going until you get there. Whatever there is for you, your dream, your purpose, your peace, your freedom, your legacy. Don't stop until you get it. And when you do, set your sights higher and go again. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Don't wait to feel ready. Just get up and build, one brick at a time. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of your next fight. Now get back in the arena. About the author. Kenny is a retired U.S. Marine Corps and Army combat veteran who overcame the trauma of war, personal hardship, and life-altering adversity to become a business owner, founder, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and mentor coach. Today, he empowers students across the country with raw, real-life stories of struggle, growth, and triumph. You've been listening to Knight's Armor Principles Volume 2, Iron Sharpens Iron. Keep Challenging Yourself by Kenny Knight III. Read by Rick Gines.